All right. Good evening, Maryland. Great crowd, security-conscious room. I can tell, because half of you checked the exits when you sat down and nobody is on the same Wi-Fi network. Tonight we're talking about doing cybersecurity in Maryland. Maryland is a special place. You have crabs, you have lacrosse, you have I-95 under permanent construction. And you have the highest concentration of people who, when you ask what they do for a living, say, I work for an agency. When someone says agency in Maryland, that is not a PR firm, not a talent agency, not the MVA, although the MVA operates with similar secrecy and comparable wait times. I know. Agency here means I signed something. I cannot say more. This conversation may already be logged. Whoa. I tried it at a party once. Someone asked what I do. I said, I work for an agency. They nodded, moved on, 0 follow-up questions. That is the power of the word. Yeah, the best version is Guido. I work for a 3-letter agency, very dramatic. Could be NSA, could be CIA, could be HHS, could be CVS. That's 3 letters. I'm not ruling it out. Half the people at that CVS definitely have clearances. Take your time. Let me tell you about Route 295. For those not from here, 295 connects Baltimore to D.C. Along the way, it passes 2 facilities, NASA Goddard Space Flight Center and the National Security Agency, NASA and NSA. 4 letters, 3 letters, 1 missing A. That A stands for aeronautics. The difference between studying the atmosphere and listening to everything happening inside it is 1 letter and 2 exits. Maryland will tell you, and Maryland will tell you, that it is the center of the cybersecurity universe. In many ways, it is. NSA, Cyber Command CISA, Johns Hopkins, UMBC, University of Maryland. Half the cleared workforce in America lives within 40 minutes of this room. And yet, Baltimore got ransomwared twice. I know, let it out. To be fair, NSA probably watched the whole thing in real time and took very detailed notes. Interesting TTPs. Clean execution, textbook lateral movement. Nation-state reconnaissance is going to love this write-up. Meanwhile, Baltimore's IT guy is at Best Buy asking if they have a firewall in stock. Whoa. And the best cyber startup founders are leaving. Tampa, Miami, no state income tax. I understand it. In Florida, you say I work in cyber and people nod. You're anonymous, just a tech person. In Maryland, you say I work in cyber and 5 people at the cookout immediately start figuring out what you're cleared for. Half of them are also cleared, but none of them will say so. Yeah. Maryland doesn't have a cyber community. It has a cyber silence. Everybody knows something. Nobody says it. The whole state is a non-disclosure agreement that learned to make crab cakes. Oh yeah. Maryland and Virginia have a polite rivalry about who owns cybersecurity. Maryland has NSA, Cyber Command, the 295 corridor. Virginia has CIA, 100 defense contractors in the Dulles corridor and Tyson's Corner, where everyone who couldn't afford Maryland real estate ended up. I know. Do a cyber event in Virginia, a few people drive in from Maryland? Do a cyber event in Maryland, a few people drive in from Virginia. DC? DC doesn't do suburban events. Cyber people in DC attend DC events, talk to other DC people, and go home. The only time a DC cyber person crosses state lines is to go to Dulles, to fly to San Francisco for RSA. Once a year, the entire DC cyber establishment packs into the United Terminal, flies west, spends 4 days in Moscone Center pretending they'll follow up on business cards and comes back. That's the full geographic range. Well, except this year. Whoa. CISA isn't sending leadership to RSA. NSA isn't sending leadership. DHS Cyber. Nobody. The administration has declined to staff the traditional government presence, but in first time in maybe 20 years, Moscone Center will have a very awkward gap where the federal briefings used to be. On the bright side, badge pickup lines will be significantly shorter. And if you needed a meeting with a senior CISA official, you can apparently just stay in D.C. and walk over. Yeah. Speaking of RSA, let's talk about the Gartner Cybersecurity Summit, which is in Washington, D.C., which is technically a national harbor. Maryland, Prince George's County. Gartner puts Washington, D.C. on all the materials because if you put National Harbor, Maryland on the listing, half the speakers book a hotel in Georgetown and show up confused. I thought you said D.C. It's the D.C. area. I'm at a Marriott on M Street. Get an Uber. This has happened. I know. DC means executives will expense the flight. Maryland means someone has to check if it's in scope for the travel policy. DC closes the purchase order. Smart marketing. I respect it. It's just funny that Maryland's biggest cyber event, the one that calls itself a Washington event, requires driving across a bridge into another state. Oh, you want to understand what the Maryland cyber workforce actually looks like? Picture a lacrosse game, Saturday afternoon, two dads on the sideline. One turns to the other, rough week. Someone spent 3 days quietly inside our network, mapped everything, found everything worth taking, got out clean. We didn't even know until it was over. Other dad nods slowly. Rough week for me too. Spent 3 days inside a network, mapped everything, found everything worth taking, got out clean. First dad turns. Who do you work for? Can't say. Me neither. They both look back at the field. Take your time. That's Maryland cyber. One guy secures things. One guy breaks into them. Different employers, probably the same customer. You might be NSA, Cyber Command, a startup on a Series A, a contractor supporting a contractor supporting a contractor whose contract supports a program nobody in the room is cleared to discuss. You might be teaching cyber at UMBC, training the next generation of people who will graduate, get cleared, and also be unable to tell you what they do. Whoa. Yeah. Full ecosystem, very proud of itself. 40 minutes from a city that got ransomwared twice. I know. Maryland, the free state. Free to work in facilities you can't name. Free to host the most powerful signals intelligence operation in human history and still not stop your own city from paying crypto to criminals who got in through an unpatched email server. Oh yeah, I love it here. You can't tell me what you do. I can't tell you what I know. We're perfect for each other. I'm Gary Cynfeld. Patch your systems. Good night.